I'm dressed. Good morning. I also just washed and blow dried my hair. So it is a bit of a poofy mess right now, but don't worry, the next morning this will be like flat again. So today I'm going to show you my Camp NaNoWriMo routine, what I do on the daily. My writing goal for this month, for the month of April, is 30,000 words. So I need to write 1,000 words a day. Now normally when I start working on a project, 1,000 words a day is kind of also what I try to aim for, but it never really works. But I said to myself, for Camp NaNoWriMo, I'm gonna really push myself. So I wanted to share with you how I do that, how I consistently hit 1,000 words a day, because I have been hitting the goal and even going over it a few times. So now I've actually brought down my word count to almost 900 words, so I managed to knock 100 words a day off by consistently writing 100 words more. Please note that today is my day off of work. I do work 3 days a week, but I usually write in the mornings and afternoons, evenings, so that stays roughly the same. It is a bit of a struggle to hit the goal, especially in the evenings. In the morning, that's my best brain, that's my sexy morning brain. But in the evenings when I'm super tired because work was tiring, it is a little hard and I really have to push myself. But I was super surprised to find that sometimes, even though you are not really at your best, if you know what scene you're going to write, you can still get those words on paper. And sure, you may have to... If you hear that sound in the background, that tick, 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 that's my guinea pigs drinking from their water bottle. I found that if I know what to write before I start writing, I can usually get something on the page. It can be 300 words or maybe even more, but I'm usually pretty proud of myself for doing that even when I'm so tired. Obviously, the next morning when I look back on it, I'm like, I might need to rewrite some sentences, but like the basics are there. You've written something down, you've hit that goal. So today I'm going to show you what it looks like and not just talk about it. So I guess we'll need to write now. I have a meeting in 20 minutes or something, so I think I can pull off one sprint and get some words done. I don't know, I find it just helps like mentally to calm down if I've already written 200 words. Just knocked something off that goal so I don't feel super pressured to write a lot in the evening. So yeah, that's how I've been handling this. Okay, enough talking, let's go. As you may know, if you've seen my latest reading vlog, I've started rereading the Court series and I'm currently on book 3. I'm like halfway through, yeah. But I've never read the next book in the series, so, well, like the spin-off of this series, so I ordered it. Look at this. Wait. They're not the same size at all. Just like everyone on the internet, I was also very sad about the change in cover design, but I could have gotten over that if they just matched size-wise, but they don't, and I'm super annoyed. I'm like even more annoyed now. So that's where I started with the yellow marker, and I wrote for like 15 minutes and this is what I wrote. So that's 464 No, 446 words. Oh, whoa. Okay, so as you can see, I'm like 10K into the project. And here's my graph. I had a very good writing day on this day. Oh, this is the better graph. Because I wrote 1,500 words. And then yesterday a little less because I was tired. So a very quick sort of introduction to the project I'm working on currently. It is about heroes and villains, and it has fake dating and enemies to lovers trope. So a hero apprentice wants to prove herself by taking on the local villain, I guess, and she tracks her down, and then by accident she pushes them through a portal. The villain knew the portal was there because they end up in a villain's conference, and it's a bit confusing. The villain is like, I can't tell my friends that I accidentally brought a hero because, well, heroes are the bad guys for the villains. So she quickly comes up with this idea that they're dating and that this is her +1, and if the hero wants to stay alive and not find herself surrounded by villains who want her dead, well, she'll have to play along. So that's kind of the premise. It's called these balls because it's a conference. I figured there would be these balls and these gowns and just a little bit of the drama and the intrigue, you know? So I'm really enjoying myself. It's a really fun project to work on. Ja. Ik heb gemaild nog met... So, hello. My meeting is finished. I had a pretty long meeting and then I was hungry and I was really in the mood to make some falafel myself because I've never done that actually. So, why not give it a shot? So, I've chopped everything. That is onion and parsley. Onion and parsley. And over here we have the chickpeas. Some websites were like, you need to let them drip for like 24 hours, but I don't have that patience. I want them now. So just gonna chuck them in. They've been standing there. They've been dripping for an hour and a half, maybe 2 now. So see if it's fine, I guess. And let's not forget, I forgot it because it was such a small amount, but let's not forget the garlic. Look, this is supposed to be it. I think the consistency is fine. Well, it's a start. The kitchen is a mess. These look like a mess. Honestly though, the first 3, I don't think I chopped them finely enough because they kept falling apart in my hands. And then I added a little oil, vegetable oil, and just tried again the chopping, and that worked better. But they still look a bit like a hot mess. But maybe they'll taste fine. It was January that my shopping spree was, and so I watched the Netflix series. Looking very crunchy. Crunchy? Crunch. So I just ate the falafel, the homemade falafel, but because I made them a little smaller than what they needed to be, they were super crispy. I mean, don't know how invested you are in this falafel storyline of mine, but for first time, it was pretty okay. Like, the inside was soft and chewy, the outside was just too crisp. It was a bit like an M&M, but that's not what you want with the falafel, I think. I think you want it to be crispy, like barely, like a brownie. Now I'm in the mood for chocolate, because I keep talking about M&Ms and brownies. I just filmed a video, a book haul video, and that took a long time, so I'm very tired right now. I think I'm gonna read for a bit in a second. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Stare at the wall, I think. I'm super tired. We've been talking about maybe going out for a walk. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. And then, because it's now 3 o'clock, then I can still read for an hour. If I start at 4. Also, we just watched the first episode of Crash Landing on You. Chloe. Oh my god, walking was so nice. When I'm super tired, I don't think walking will help because it's like doing something while you're tired, so it feels counterproductive, counterintuitive. But it actually helps just to get some fresh air and to move your body because my brain was tired, but my body not so much. Also, the walks help a lot for thinking about my story. So I use the walk to talk about what I'm gonna do next in the scene I'm writing, because I am a fervent believer that when you know what you're gonna write, when you sit down and write, it'll go so much easier. And that is honestly how I've been managing to consistently write 1000 words a day. It's just by knowing what I'm going to write when I sit down to write it. I know I already mentioned it this morning, but honestly, the reason why I get a slump or why writing won't work and I'll stare at a page for 30 minutes is because I don't know what I want to write. But now I actively take the time before my sesh to think about it. For this afternoon, now I use the walk to kind of talk it over, think it over what I want to do. Or sometimes I'll take a shower because that always helps, you know, the shower thoughts are always pretty good actually. I recommend, why don't you try before you start writing in the evenings, you'll take a shower and in the shower you only think about what I'm gonna write next. When I'm out of the shower, I rush downstairs and I start writing. I mean, sometimes I forget the sentences, but I'll know the gist of the scene. And then in the evenings when I'm done with my writing session, I'll think about, where is this going now? What do I want to write in the morning? And sometimes I'll jot down a little sentence like, this needs to happen now. That's also why in the morning I don't immediately start writing, but first have some breakfast and watch a YouTube video or something, get my brain working a little. Another thing that really helps me is to read before I start writing. It doesn't have to be immediately before I start writing, but it just helps, especially if it's a book that really sparks your motivation, your interest, your creativity. Because I'm currently rereading the Court series, as I've mentioned a few times. Like, I'll be reading, and while I'm reading, I'm constantly thinking, I want to write this, I want to write like this too. And so I almost can't wait to put the book down and start on my own story. And that's what you want. You want to find those authors or those books that'll spark that motivation to write. So, I mean, you don't always have to read them, but maybe when you're working on a novel and you're like, okay, I need these 3 months to finish it, maybe pick up something they wrote and your creativity will be sparked a bit more. So now I'm going to take my own advice and I'm going to read. Noodle soup. As always, as soon as I start filming, someone is drinking. After dinner, I read some more in A Court of Wings and Ruin, and yeah, it's just... I only read this book once, this is the second time I'm reading it, and it's definitely improved. My expectations when I first started this were very different from what we got, especially since book 2 was so amazing. It was kind of hard to top that. So yeah, no, reading this for the second time is definitely a better experience. I forgot one event that just happened. I was like, what is this? I had no memory of this happening at all. My words are gone, so I think I'm just gonna watch some anime and then write. And hopefully my words have gone back after watching the anime. Hello, I am back. Like half an hour later. I went a little crazy. That's a lot. That's like a lot. I mean, that's a perfect use for this smiley. Oh my god. To be fair though, this scene, I've been anticipating this scene for quite some time. I knew what needed to happen, I knew the emotions, I knew almost everything about this scene, so I just needed to sit down and write it. That was a great end of this day. I mean, I usually don't write that much in one sitting. This isn't normal for me or anything. But nice, like, I'm glad. Hi, it's now the next day. Well, actually it's 2 days later, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments if you did, or give it a thumbs up. Also, do share how your camp NaNoWriMo is doing, if you're participating, and what your project is. How do you consistently hit your writing goal? So yes, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video. I always love to talk about writing and the creative process, and I hope you liked watching it too, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!